Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum to all listeners. My name is Tariq Ali MBE. With you for the youth and community today. Bear with me, it is my first show. We've got a few IT issues. We're just getting organised. First of all, Ramadan Mubarak to all. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shower you all with blessings and reward us all for our good deeds. Like I said, this is my first ever radio show as a presenter, so go easy on us. I have some guests in the studio with me. Brother Nadeem, who I'll be speaking to shortly, and a couple of, three young adults who've been through our youth process the last 8-9 years, and we'll be catching up with their thoughts. Right. Well, before I start, I would say hi to my grandchildren.
It's not like you, Tariq, to be nervous.
There's a first for everything, mate. I'll say hi to my granddaughter Zara and grandson Zain. They've been chomping at the bit all week to hear me on the radio, so if they're listening, well, they promised they'll be listening, so a big shout out to them. You can get involved by calling the show on 01902 972 150 or WhatsApp 07440 420 432 or text us. Right, today's show we're going to be talking about youth and community. Okay, so Wolverhampton has a rough population of about 250,000 people. Okay, out of which 25% are under 19. Okay, so that gives us roughly about 65,000 young adults in Wolverhampton. Now, as a Muslim population, I would say, don't quote me on these figures, these are just estimates, we have about 17,000 Muslims registered or living in Wolverhampton. So it's probably about 4,500 young adults in the community. As you're aware, I have quite a bit of involvement with some local youth clubs, cricket, and a lot of other organisations. And I'm very passionate about giving all youngsters a chance in life, regardless of ethnicity, postcode or upbringing. So I just wonder how many communities are helping, supporting their youngsters, steering them away from bad issues such as drugs, crime, knife crime, just general bad habits. So the question this week is, how do we steer young adults away from bad behaviours? Whose responsibility is it? Is it mum and dad's? Is it our teachers? Is it the young adults that have gone through the community system and grown up to be good adults? Is it their responsibility? Or the easy option is somebody else's? I don't have all the answers, not for 1 minute, but what I do know is some of the stuff that we do, and Brother Nadeem's going to talk about shortly, that does with me, has definitely helped. So, Brother Nadeem, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's not like you, like I said, Tariq, to be nervous. You also got a script, so which we'll have to talk about later. But first of all,
how can you see my script from there?
Oh, I've seen you. Assalamu alaikum to all the listeners. Ramadan Mubarak, first of all. I do have to apologise. I do have a bit of a cough, so just in case I get nervous as well. As you just mentioned, we are involved in a lot of projects that we currently do, mainly cricket. And I think through cricket, we have kind of engaged a lot more with the mosque. I
wouldn't say just cricket, mate. I mean, we will talk about it in depth as the show goes on. You're quite heavily involved in your local community because you work with me and I know you do it. You're quite heavily involved in your mosque, and the amount of stuff we've done in the last 2 years we will talk about. And look, it's not about showing off, and I know you didn't want to talk about too much of it, but it's about inspiring others and see if we can just push people to think, well, I could do some of that. How can I get involved?
Yeah. And
just helping their local youngsters and their community and be supportive around them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I do feel that it did kind of start off with some of the cricket that we were heavily involved in, like the Chance to Street. That was big, getting the youth from there. We started off with the All-Stars cricket. That was really good in some of our local parks.
Yeah. So let me just break that down. So All-Stars cricket's for anybody who's got young children between 5 and 8. So it's played over 6 weeks, 1 hour a week, and it's just introducing into the game and getting involved in. You can get through your local club. We run a couple of projects from our mosque, and then we move on to the Chance to Shine. It's for 8 to 13-year-olds and 14 to 19-year-olds.
Yeah. And then obviously, like I said, from that, it kind of led on to bringing some of those youth into the mosque and engaging them into the mosque as well. So I think some of the projects that we've done through the mosque has been, we've got the youth engaged in cleaning the mosque once a week, which I think that was really good. I know
100%.
some of the youngsters will kind of speak about. We also had a fundraiser, which I think that was really good for our, definitely for Penfield's community. And we also, I think, where did we go? Was it Lake District?
Yeah, camping.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've made a bit of a list. I know you've been spying on my notes. So yeah, we've done a lot of things, and we'll get the youngsters involved in a minute. I mean, some of the things that we've done in the last couple of years. I mean, we've played cricket, indoor cricket all winter with the team from the mosque. They've held their own, and it wasn't about getting cricketers. It was about people connected with the mosque. So even our mosque team was called Taiba Mosque.
Yeah.
And we played all winter, keep them away from dark streets, keep them off the streets at night, something for them to do rather than sitting in front of their PlayStation.
Even though they didn't do well, but yeah, still taking them.
They were fine. And we'll just bring some of the youngsters in. Shukran, how are you?
All good, alhamdulillah. How are you?
Okay, I'm not bad, thank you. What's Ramadan mean for you, mate?
Oh, Ramadan, it's all about getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spiritually and spending time with family, you know, and obviously reciting the holy book, the Quran.
Good. We just touched on some of the things we've done. I mean, you was part of the team. In fact, I think you've been one of the guys that came to my very first project probably about 8 years ago now.
Yeah, long time. Been part of everything, to be fair.
Yeah. So I remember you and your brother coming up, little toddlers, like
Yeah.
7, 8 years old, maybe 9 years old.
Yeah, around 9 years
Mashallah. How old are you now?
old. Mashallah, 18 now.
18. So it's how's it been for you?
Good journey, man. Learned a lot, to be fair, like religiously and outside the home, outside, like how to socialize, like etc. You know, like if it was for education, like if I needed anything, I'll come to you straight away and ask for advice. You know, I remember from my GCSEs, you know, after that I didn't know what to do. You gave me work experience. I went for electrician, etc. I didn't really find that, and I ended up going sixth form. And it's going good now.
Good, mashallah. I mean, it's not about just cricket, like you said, Nadim. We do a lot of role modelling. We're there to support the youngsters, whatever they need.
Yeah.
And I guess it's difficult at times, especially this day and age, where sometimes you don't have that connect with your parents because your parents are a little bit strict. So you can't have that easy flowing conversation, and there's conversations you want to have. So people like yourself, people like myself, who are involved in these young children's lives, they can go to them, they can approach us and talk, and where we can, we will try and help.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like what he's just said, it's not just about doing activities, it's about the youth being able to speak to someone openly. And sometimes the best person could be, the community person, just someone that you just play football with, play cricket with as well. So I think it's not just about, we take them here and there to play football, to play cricket or on projects. It's about for them as well to openly ask questions if they're stuck on anything as well, worldly stuff. And then you just, pretty much just guiding them as well. They might have some troubles at home as well, at home, which you can kind of get involved in as well.
I mean, I'm not going to dwell too much on personal things, but there's many situations that I know you've solved and I've solved, and I'm currently mentoring a very young child who's gone through a very bad phase. And now in the past, there was a couple of young childs who had some marriage issues that you took up on yourself and you mentored them for a while and got through a bad phase. I mean, it's going to you, Heather. How are you?
All right,
Okay,
how are
cool.
you?
Not bad. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming in. They're all looking very nervous. Nothing to be nervous about. Me, I'm the one who's been nervous here. I mean, you've been involved quite heavily as well. I mean, you've enjoyed the cricket. You played many tournaments. You've led many tournaments. I mean, how long have you been involved in some of our projects?
A long time.
A long
Can't
time.
remember.
Yeah. What's the lasting memory for you?
Last what?
Lasting memory?
Eating.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Yeah. Cool. But it's like Nadim said, it's not all about the cricket. We've had police officers come in, we've had drugs people come in, we've had teachers come in, we've had other mentors. I've managed to get professional cricketers in. So it's not all about just coming to play cricket when you come to some of the youth clubs. It's about just equipping you to be better human beings, better citizens, in the community, because you guys are the future. In the next 15, 20 years, inshallah, you'll be taking the mantelpiece, and hopefully what you're learning of us guys, you can inspire another generation below you.
Inshallah.
So, it's coming back to you, Nad. So, do you think these roles actually make a difference?
Most definitely. I mean, obviously we've just got 3 kids here. Just imagine, how much more there's been. Even if you can just mentor one or two people, that you've achieved something. And if they can just take away something from us, I'm not saying that, there's a lot they can take from us or something.
Yeah.
But if you can pass on something,
Yeah.
some good,
Yeah.
then you've achieved something as well. So
And we've talked about this many times. We've said, look, I mean, I worked out just before the show today how many kids have come through our projects, and mashallah, we've had 74 young children come through our projects, which, okay, sounds like, well, it's only 74 kids, but even out of them, if 50 kids turn out to be good citizens,
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
even if one person changes life because of what we're doing for them, that's more than enough for it to get the majority of them. But it's absolutely amazing, absolutely amazing. So, come and join us, Arslan. No, come and jump on this mic here, mate. So, Walaikum Salam. What's your name?
You just said it. You mentioned it just now. I was going to bring the chair.
that was his icebreaker for you.
Oh. This is Arslan. He's probably one of the most talented cricketers we've got come through the doors, to be fair. But he's a very, very shy individual. So, just talk to us about, I mean, you're all youngsters, so you're involved in your local communities. You know other youngsters who aren't involved in our projects, and I'm not saying name names. I mean, do you think it actually makes a difference? I mean, we're currently working with 24, 25 young children who are between 8 and 13. And inshallah, they'll progress to where you guys in the next 5-6 years. But we're planting the seeds quite young, so we're giving them other options other than just stopping at home in front of a PlayStation or going to meet the mates in a park or just walking around in the dark streets or just getting into bad habits. Do you think that made a difference for you, joining up so young?
Yeah, it made a big difference.
Mm.
So I joined really early to the way where you did Chance to Shine projects, and then from there I wasn't really that good at English, so socializing with others over there really helped a lot, with not just outside, at home as well, so we're able to speak to each other now in English, like as you. If it was from the start, I don't know I'd be able to speak English right now.
Well, it's good to hear. And to be fair, Nat, just coming back to you, it's never been easy. I mean, I remember starting these projects 8, 9, 10 years ago, not just for our community, I was doing outside of our own community. And it's always difficult to try and convince the parents that they're leaving home with somebody else to go and do something else, and just that trust barrier. And mashallah, now, alhamdulillah, people are queuing up and they turn 7 and we get calls, when come my son join, when come my son join. But
No, it's true. Yeah, what you're saying is right. It's that trust, isn't it? So, like I said, exactly what you pretty much just said. If they know who they're going with now, they wouldn't have a problem. But back then, they would think twice who they're going with, why they're going. Rightly so, maybe as well. Obviously, until they don't know what they're doing and how long they're going to be. Then but I think those barriers are slightly opening as well. So, with obviously some of these projects that we're going on as well, I don't think we have that much of a problem now.
Which is good, and obviously because these so many youngsters have come through the projects, it's word of mouth and the families talk to each other, and it's a community build, and it's not just for our community. We'll take anybody that's as long as they're living in Wolverhampton and they can get to our sessions. It is open for all. But just going back to you guys, Heather, did you find it difficult with your parents allowing you to be out when you were younger, to come to the youth activities and stuff we used to do, or was it quite easy going about it?
It was quite easy going about it. 'Cause my dad's friends with you, so.
Okay.
You had to say that.
It's not what you know, it's who you know. Yeah.
All right, you two, Shukran, Arslan.
Yeah, to be fair, for us, you remember my dad phoning you every week.
Yeah.
Is he with you? Is he with you? Whereas now, if I have to tell him, I'm going with Tariq, and he's like, okay, he doesn't need to check up with you because now I've built a trust with him. that, you know, we can trust me that I'm going out with you. That's it.
Yeah, so as long as you're using my name for the right reason, boys, and not for the wrong reason. So, no. But it's good to hear. Good to hear. Just coming back to you, Nance. How do you think we can get more people involved? I know that is a loaded question. And what I mean by that is we have to be honest. This is a volunteer role. You work full-time. I work full-time. You do some cricket work. I do some more cricket work. I'm quite heavily involved in quite a few organisations and committees that I sit on. So, but we do find the time, you know, even if it's only 2 hours a week or 3 hours a week, but we do find the time. But it is a volunteer role. We don't get paid for it. How are we going to encourage some more people, especially senior people who've seen life, got that experience to share, and probably do a great job with some of these youngsters? How would we encourage them to get on board?
And that's it, Tariq. I mean, I don't think money is an issue in terms of you know, when we do these projects. I think what's important is people's time. People's time is important. If you really want to make a difference, and if you really love your community, I think you would be on board. But again, it all comes down to your community as well, what you want to achieve as well. And I do feel there's a lot of people that need to play a part in it. So it's not just an individual that needs to do it. So it shouldn't be just, it's down to the parents. You know, I think the mosque needs to play a role in it. The parents, you know, the community leaders as well. So definitely, I think they all need to come on board, and you know, and plan what they want to achieve as well, what they want to get from the youth as well. And I think the youth need to play a part in it as well. You know, they shouldn't be left aside. They need to come on board as well. It's not just a case of we want to do this and that. And then, you know, you don't see it for the next couple of weeks.
It's very important once you sign up that you stay engaged, and there's nothing worse than somebody turning up ad hoc or not bothered for a few weeks. But you know, you've got to stay engaged to get the full benefits of the projects that we run. Otherwise, there's no point. But you know, you do get people that drop out, but we would always check, see what's going on. If it's something we've done wrong, the parents aren't happy. You know, something else is going on. And 9 times out of 10, there's something else going on in the background that needs resolving. And once that's resolved, you know, they're back on board. So, now, mosque. We've disagreed on this many a time. What's an ideal mosque for you other than praying?
Am I allowed to say that? Yeah.
I mean,
well, you know, I'm quite open about this as well, and I do feel a mosque shouldn't be just a place to worship. A mosque should be there for our kids, our youth, to come and enjoy themselves as well. There should be, inshallah, hopefully we are kind of planning to work on making a community centre as well. There should be a place for, let's just say, the kids to chill, maybe after, you know, each namaz or something. There should be something there, not just for boys, it should be for girls as well. So I do feel strongly about that, and like I said, we are working with our committee people as well. You know, we are working towards that. I have been to a lot of mosques, and I do feel, you know, we are, you know, slightly behind, but you know, we are going to get there.
But do you think? I mean, we're not saying for 1 minute nobody should go to a mosque than praying. But what we're trying to say is the facilities are there, and we should use them facilities more. Do you think some of the people that lead these mosques or the administrations aren't open-minded enough to try and just challenge the status quo?
No, I don't think they're open-minded. I think they are open-minded. It's just again, it comes down to time, Tariq. You know, have we really got the time? Have we really got the time for this as well? So,
well, it's a debate we'll keep on having. Inshallah, we'll get the new community centre up and going, and it'll be open to all. Cool. Right, just coming back to you guys. Did you enjoy your indoor cricket season this year?
How much games did you win, first of all, out of?
There won a few. I think we finished.
We pretty did pretty well, to be fair.
Yeah.
We finished 5th.
We finished 4th in the first half of the season, and in the second league, when we got promoted, we finished 5th. So it wasn't too bad.
First season back.
Yeah. So, I mean, how did you find? Obviously, it's the first time you guys have played. Normally in the winter, what would you be doing otherwise?
Probably just chilling at home, on the phone, playing games, etc. But, you know.
And this is why I say, Tariq, I think, you know, in mosque there should be, if there's a community centre or something, there's something there for them, isn't there?
I mean, even though we haven't had a community centre, I mean, we have got a community centre, but it's portable for us. So in the summer months, we have tried this. We've used our car park with all the resources. We have table tennis, five-side foot, whatever we can get to do to just go and get the kids to come there. But unfortunately, in the winter, it's very difficult to do that, so we just don't have the space. So, Heather, talk us about your indoor cricket season, mate.
It's good, alhamdulillah, first season.
Yeah. Enjoyed it?
Yeah.
Cool. You're very quiet today. He's not normally this quiet, is he?
It's camera shy.
No, we gotta think about, you know, we get to see like all our friends basically, Bilal, etc. You know, at the end of the day, we can go out, have a meal at the end, you know, reflect on our game.
Exactly, and it's not just about the playing, it's about the well-being as well. I mean, yes, we all need certain aspects of life for life to be whole, and one of them being well-being and mental health. And the best way you can get mental health is seeing friends, especially good friends, people around you, you know. I mean, luckily all our team was from the mosque, so if they were connected to the mosque, they were playing. If not, they wasn't playing. You know, and it's good for mental being, unless we lost, obviously, and it was Heather's turn to buy the burgers.
I think, Tariq, one of the things that I really enjoyed, obviously, when we started working with the youth was, obviously, when we got them to come to the mosque once a week to kind of clean. I think that was actually really good.
Well, I think you're selling yourself a bit short there. You've done a bit more than that. I mean, just looking through my list, we've had the breakfast club through the holidays. So every holidays we have Fajr, and then we have a breakfast club when somebody comes and actually cooks breakfast in the morning, and that was very engaging and well supported. We've had the Isha club on a Friday evening in the winter months.
I remember your burnt toast. I remember that.
That was a dodgy toaster. So yeah, sorry, you were saying.
Yeah, no, I can't remember what I was saying now. But I think that's something that really kind of put a smile to my face when seeing the youth come into the mosque and cleaning the mosque as well. Because obviously, when you go to the mosque now, you tend to just see old people. If I'm honest with you, that's not taking anything away from old people. May Allah bless our old people. But we want to fill our mosque with the youth with the youth. That's our ultimate goal. That's my ultimate goal, inshallah, with obviously the committee's help and obviously your help as well. That's what we want to get to. Keeping them engaged within the mosque as well.
Well, it's not just the cleaning. I mean, you've got to understand that mosques, they're like small businesses. Yeah. They've got bills to pay. They need cleaning. They need everything that you do in your own house. It needs to be tip-top shape all the while. And there's somebody, 9 times out of 10, all volunteers. And mashallah, all of these kids, every time we need something, we don't ask for anything back from our youth projects. But one thing we will say is if anything needs doing in the community, anything needs doing in the mosque, then we'll rally the boys, and mashallah, they will all turn up, and we'll get the job done.
Exactly, and at the end of the meeting, we used to have a Islamic reminder at the end. So you do both. You clean the mosque.
So best of both worlds.
Exactly.
And if Nad's in a good mood, he normally throws in a pizza as well.
Are we allowed to give some names of the pizza places or
No
no?
no sponsorship,
No
unfortunately.
sponsorship, Sorry, guys.
But yeah, we were just talking about. So how do we encourage more volunteers?
I don't know, Tariq. I think it's got to be an element of they've got to see what good's coming out as well from what we're doing as well, and then again you can just do announcements on Juma or whatever in terms of guys, we need help and all that, but ultimately it's going to be down to the
we're just going to
individual.
an ad break. Hold that thought and we'll continue the chat after the break.